Hey, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for checking out this video. On our last video, we were talking about Cavallo Condos in Calgary, and that project actually sold out in record time. It sold out in just 1 week. It was unbelievable, the response that we got there. Obviously, the secret on Calgary is definitely out. Something happened when the calendar turned over this year, 2022, January 1st. The world, the GTA real estate world seemed to wake up to what we've been talking about for 2 years now, that Calgary is an amazing place to invest. And on this video, we're going to be talking to you about our latest opportunity. Didn't have to wait long, thankfully. We have Skyview North by Truman Homes. It's our latest opportunity. Once again, coming back at you with an amazing offer, 10% deposit, rental guarantee for 2 years, 2025 completion, and the units are amazingly priced, starting from the high 200s. We're going to talk more about that in a moment, but first, let's jump into the Calgary market a little bit more, and let me tell you what's happening there right now. It's pretty amazing. So how is Calgary? That is obviously a typo on the slide, but how is Calgary? February 2022 update. Look at this chart here that shows you the seasonally adjusted monthly home sales. Check out the far right of the chart here. Obviously, the sales are just off the charts right now. The market in Calgary is hotter than it has ever been in the last, probably since 2006 or even before that. And for those of you who've been with us all the way along for the ride, you will know that it was right here on this chart in November 2019 when we first told you now is the time to get into Calgary. This market is ripe for investment and is ready to take off again after a number of years of being down in the dumps. And it's looking pretty good right now. So congrats to everybody who've been with us and investing with us in Calgary from the beginning in those days. And welcome to all the new investors who are joining us here in 2022. And welcome back all those investors who are buying 2, 3, 4, 5 units and even more with us as they continue to build their portfolio in 2022 with us. The market in Calgary, in short, is doing amazing right now. How about the condo segment in particular? Because obviously we're talking about condos here. The local Calgarian market, you could say, they were extremely pessimistic about the condo market when we first started going in there. They said we were nuts to be buying condos in Calgary. They said this market will never recover. It's the worst thing you could invest in. Well, that is exactly why we jumped in and we said, this is the time, this is the moment to jump into this market, because the opportunity is greatest when everybody is running for the exits, right? So we've picked up some amazing deals over the years. Prices have already come up, but the best is still yet to come. Look at what's happening in the resale market right now as we're recording this video in February 2022. Condo sales in February are up 126% compared to the same time last year, versus detached home sales are up only 74%. Still amazing, but condo sales are up actually a lot more than house sales. And take a look at the sales to new listings ratio. This tells us the temperature of the market, how hot things are, and where things are likely going to be going next. With condos, again, 76%. With detached homes, still very high, but less than the condo market. So the condo market, to summarize, the condo segment in Calgary right now is currently, it's the hottest segment of the market right now. This is something that, again, you could not believe this could be possibly happening. But this is what we said right from the beginning 2 years ago. At some point, things will tip, things will turn, and the market very quickly can turn on its head. We've seen this time and time again in other markets that we've been in, and we saw the ingredients were there for this to happen in Calgary, and it is happening right now. So, this is crazy that I actually was writing this on the slide here, but there will actually be a shortage of condos in Calgary soon. That's right. You heard it here first. The market, just like every other market, there's a tipping point. Go from an oversupply, and all of a sudden one day you wake up and the market is undersupplied. So the way that the market is trending right now, detached home prices have shot up so much. Once again, they lead the market in Calgary as they do in the GTA and most markets. That's the canary in the coal mine. You see that detached segment shoot up first, and we've seen that over the past year. And now what's happening? The condo market is now jumping up as well as buyers are priced out of the house market, and now everybody's rushing back into the condo market. But what's really interesting and why we're super excited and why we saw this opportunity from 2 years ago is they have not been building any new condos in Calgary since around 2014, right? So you have 7-8 years of essentially almost no new condos being added, no new supply, new product being added into the marketplace in Calgary, a city of 1.4 million people. And so you have 7-8 years of pent-up demand, just natural pent-up demand for product that people have not been buying. And you layer onto that the fact that the market itself organically is just now heating up. So you have all these buyers rushing out there. They're going into the marketplace. There's nothing new for them to buy. Everything that they're buying is old stock. So we as investors coming in buying pre-construction today, that's not going to be completed till 2025. That's going to be a brand new, highly desirable property in 2025 when everything else on the market has already been snapped up, but whatever is on the market is old product. So this is, how can I say? It's happening. It is happening. This is what we've been talking about for 2 years. It's happening now in Calgary. It's very exciting. Let's give you a little inflation update. If you've been paying attention to prices, gas prices, and everything else, inflation once again is roaring. It's at a 40-year high. Central banks and governments are just, there's not much they can do. Everyone was saying a couple of weeks ago the Bank of Canada was going to raise interest rates. What did they do? They did not raise interest rates. They sat on their hands. They have so much debt that they have to pay. If they raise interest rates, it's going to be big problems for themselves. So they're just sitting on their hands. There's not much they can do. Low interest rates, folks, are here for a very, very long time. Yes, they may go up a little bit this year, but you're not going to see any significant increase. Once again, this 40-year event that just happened recently in the past few months is still true. Reminder, the mortgage rate, the money you can borrow on a mortgage is lower than the inflation rate. So check out this another just shocking chart. The variable rate versus the real variable rate mortgage cost. So when you take your mortgage rate and you subtract the inflation rate, what do you get? That's your real mortgage rate. That's the actual price that you're paying for your money. And again, inflation is at like 6-7%, and mortgages you can get at like I just did one for 1.35% on a rental property. So you are in negative territory, okay? This is free money, folks. You are getting paid to borrow. This is the best time in history to have the largest possible mortgage you can get, not to buy, largest possible debt that you can get and acquire, not to buy Lamborghinis or yachts, but to buy investments, cash flow producing real estate. That's what we're here for. That's what we're excited about. And that's what we recommend that you do with this opportunity here. So long intro there, but for those of you who don't know me, once again, it's Andrew LaFleur, realtor with RE/MAX here in Toronto. I've been doing this for 15 years, since 2007, helping investors just like you achieve their financial goals. I'm one of the top 100 RE/MAX agents in Canada. I've helped well over 1,000 condo investors now, including hundreds in Calgary. And I personally am investing in Calgary, putting my money where my mouth is, have 3 units so far, and I'm definitely going to be adding more this year in Calgary. So let's take a step back. Why are we in Calgary again? You're probably watching this video in the Toronto area and you're thinking, shouldn't we be investing in Toronto, Andrew? 2 problems with Toronto. It's a great place to invest. Yes, absolutely you should. But of course, there's 2 main problems. One is cash flow. You can't find cash flow anywhere in Toronto, let alone, you probably can't even find anything in Ontario at this point. So that's a challenge for us as investors, making the numbers work. 2 is affordability. The prices are just very, very high. And as you know, the prices are rising by the day, by the hour, it seems. If you're an investor hoping to build a portfolio here, it's from the start, it's nearly impossible. Even if you're a seasoned investor like me and you have a decent number of properties already in your portfolio, it's still nearly impossible to add another property, because your average price is $1 million now. Average price in Durham region is now over $1 million. Affordability is a major problem with Toronto. So we believe in investing in cities, though, and we say, well, what other cities are there in Canada? Let's take a look at the top 4. We have Toronto, number 1. Montreal is the second biggest city. Vancouver, third. And Calgary is the 4th biggest city in Canada. One of these things is not like the other. There's extreme differences between these cities' real estate markets right now. And again, this is why the opportunity is so great. Toronto is Toronto, as we said. Montreal was an amazing place to invest, probably 2018. You wanted to get into on Montreal. Montreal has shot up, and prices are not that far off where Toronto is right now. And Montreal, historically, the rents are not that great. You got political issues and other things to consider. So Montreal, for most people, is not really happening anymore. Vancouver is Vancouver. It's Toronto on steroids. If you can't afford Toronto, you definitely can't afford Vancouver, which leaves us with Calgary. So let's look again. Look at the numbers here. I like to say, this is Calgary's time. Look at the stark, shocking price difference. If you look at historically from the last 7-8 years or so, the big cities in Canada, every city has had their moment where the prices have just shot up, especially Toronto and Vancouver, but even Ottawa and Montreal, their prices have shot up as well. But look at Calgary. You can barely even see it there. You look all the way down, way below everybody else. There's Calgary. And you can see that the prices are virtually unchanged in Calgary, again, for like the last 7-8 years. They're really barely changed since 2006, really, when you go all the way back. So the opportunity in Calgary, just from a sheer gravity perspective, just from a sheer what goes down must come up perspective, just a catch-up perspective. Forget about anything else, any fundamentals, nothing. Just looking at the sheer numbers of the city of Calgary size and how it's dramatically cheaper. And compared to historical norms, it's way off historical norms compared to every other city. So look at this. The implied Calgary price increase required to meet the historical average price ratio. So if you look at the long-term historical price difference between Calgary and Toronto and the long-term price difference between Calgary and Vancouver, the 2 big cities of Canada, just to catch up to that historical average, not to go beyond it, just to get to the average distance between the two, prices in Calgary would have to go up by 65% from today, assuming Vancouver prices stop and stay where they are. Calgary prices would rise 65% from where they are right now, just to meet that historical average. And compared to Toronto, prices would have to go up an astounding 105% compared to where they are now. And assuming, again, Toronto prices just stopped and stayed the exact same and didn't move, it would have to go up 105% just to meet that long-term historical average. This is nuts. And this is why the sales in Calgary are shooting up. This is why everybody is now jumping on board in Calgary and figuring this stuff out, what we've been saying for 2 years. So why Calgary again? To summarize, the main headlines here are it's 50 to 70% cheaper than Toronto. You're getting positive cash flow in Calgary, even on single condo units. Don't have to get duplexes, triplexes. You don't have to renovate, none of that. It's all just boom, easy, gravy. Positive cash flow, day one. It's the 5th most livable city in the world. This is a great, great city. It's a nice place to be. You have the Rocky Mountains. The weather is not nearly as bad as you might think it is. And today, as I'm recording this, it's 13 degrees in Calgary and it's below 0 in Toronto. Like the population of Calgary is growing. The city is continuing to grow. We love to see that as real estate investors. More and more people are moving to Calgary. I just met somebody the other day randomly who came to my house and they said, yeah, we sold Toronto, we moved to Calgary. It's so cheap. It's the youngest population in Canada, has the highest incomes in Canada. So lowest prices of a major city in Canada with the highest incomes. What do you think is going to happen there with those 2 ingredients alone? And it's the highest projected GDP growth in Canada for Alberta compared to the other provinces for the years ahead. The bonuses of investing in Calgary, it's just very refreshing. If you're coming from Toronto and you're used to all the red tape and taxes and fees and everything of Toronto. You have no land transfer tax at all. There's no provincial and there's no city land transfer tax. You have no HST in Calgary, only GST. There's no foreign buyer tax. So if you're a non-Canadian resident, you can buy in Calgary without that. There's no rent control. There's no closing costs in Calgary at all. The average closing cost, in case you didn't know, City of Toronto condo right now is about $40,000 to $50,000 today. If you're buying today, the closing cost on the average condo in Calgary is zero. It's basically zero. You pay your lawyer, and that is it. And let's also just touch on immigration. So there's the 150-year history of immigration numbers to Canada. And you can see on the far right where we are today and the projected next few years. Of course, it's been well documented and publicized and addressed by the media that the Liberal government said we're bringing in more immigrants to this country than ever over the next 3 years, to the tune of 1.2 million people coming here by next year. So last year, this year, and next year, 1.2 million people. And every few months, they seem to increase that number even higher. We need this immigration. We need it for our economy. It's a good thing. And the question that I keep asking myself, and you should be too, is where are all these immigrants going to go? Of course, they traditionally most settle in GTA and Vancouver, Toronto area and Vancouver area. But when you look at the cost of real estate in these cities, especially how much it's shot up in the past couple of years, I think a greater and greater share of immigrants coming into this country will say, let me look at that Calgary here. It's, you know what? I can buy 3 houses in Calgary instead of, 0 houses in Toronto, right? It's just going to add rocket fuel to the market in Calgary over the next few years. Look at pricing in Calgary, $430 roughly per square foot for this project that we're selling here. Parking is included. Deposit's only 10%. You got 3-4 years till it's completed. Plus you got a 2-year rental guarantee. Compare that to everything that's happening in Toronto right now. It's like, it's a completely different planet. It's not even close. You see the numbers in Toronto versus Calgary. Let's go back in time and look at the sales history. How did Calgary get to where it is today? So again, the last boom in Calgary was 2011 to 2014. We saw sales shoot up. The big event in the past decade in Calgary was the oil price collapse, end of 2014. So that's where you see Calgary was in a recession for about 6 years there until 2020. And then in 2021, now we're finished that year, you can see the sales shot up, and it's the best year from the last 15 years or so. 2021 was the best year. 2022 is looking to absolutely destroy and smash the record set in 2021. There's Chris Farley, shocked at what he's seeing there. Understanding the story with prices. So going back all the way 20 years to around 2001 in Calgary, again, you had a really big boom, 2004 to 2006, and then you had the economic collapse, of course, 2008. Prices went down. Then you had another boom time, as we mentioned, 2014. Oil price collapsed. You have the recession. So when you're buying today in early 2022, I don't know how much longer this is going to last, but the prices in early 2022, although they've come up, from the past couple of years that we've been doing this, prices are rising, yes, but you're still buying at a price that is not that far off of where prices were in 2014. And to some extent, the previous boom of even going back to 2006 prices. So it's really like you're getting in a time machine, Marty McFly style, going back in time and able to buy at prices that, we haven't seen in Toronto in forever. It's absolutely phenomenal. Supply, what's happening with supply? We want to see supply going down, and absolutely supply is dropping like a stone in Calgary right now, and that's what's pushing prices up. And prices, what are prices doing? Prices are going up. Again, most of the last 5-6 years, prices were going down, but in 2021, that all flipped around. Prices started going up, and in 2022, you ain't seen nothing yet. Like this year, it's going to be absolutely nuts in Calgary, and we're on for the ride. So this, again, is our opportunity right now. Skyview North Condos by Truman Homes, 10% deposit, rental guarantee, 25 completion. Units are starting in the high 200s. The most expensive unit in the building is like low 400s, like 420 or so, which is cheaper than pretty much any single condo that you can buy anywhere in the province of Ontario. So it's just amazing. I love bringing these opportunities to you. These always sell out fast. As I said, Cavallo, it sold out in a record time of 1 week. We just sold that one a couple of weeks ago. Frontier Condos sold in a month. Savannah Condos sold in a month. These things go quick. They're not massive Toronto-style 600-unit buildings. 200 units or so is what they are. They go quickly. Don't delay. If you're interested, definitely reach out, contact us, get a unit quickly before they're all gone. Truman Homes, we've been working with them a long time. Biggest builder in Calgary, 40 years of history. I'm invested with them. Great builder to be investing with. Excited to continue to work with them. Here's a chart. Again, you might want to pause this and look at this, but just comparing this Skyview North condo with a typical entry-level condo, if you can even find one in Toronto. And just the difference. You need 170 grand cash to get a basic bottom of the barrel, if you can even find it, condo in Toronto, versus you can get an amazing 2-bed, 2-bath, like luxuriously large unit with positive cash flow for only 77 grand total investment. It's night and day. So what this is and what this isn't, what it is, it's a classic buy low market opportunity. This is a low risk, high ROI potential right now in Calgary. It's turnkey. You don't have to do anything. It's done for you for 2 years pre-construction. You don't have to think about this for the next 5-6 years. If you're a new investor, this is a great first step into the market. If you're a seasoned investor, you need to get some Calgary units into your portfolio. Now is the time. And as always, these are long-term holds. We believe in buy and hold. Never sell. Real estate is for buying, not for selling. What this is not, it's not a get-rich-quick opportunity. It's not a quick flip. You're not buying into this crazy market where you say, "Oh, I buy it today," and you ask me tomorrow, "Did it go up 100,000 yet?" We're not there. We're not expecting that yet. At some point, it may happen this year in Calgary, but that's not where we are. We believe that the market is strong and it's growing, and it's going to continue to do so over the next 3, 4, 5 years. While this investment is being built. So if you are interested, next steps, go to the website there, truecondos.com, Skyview North Condos. You might be watching this video on this link right now, or if you're on YouTube, just click in the description, the link there to take you there. Sign up to get the floor plans, prices, and more information. Questions, call or text us anytime, 647-371-0110. There you go. Hope you enjoyed this video. Excited to be working with you once again. Looking forward to bringing you more opportunities like this in Calgary. Remember, don't delay. These opportunities always sell out. The last one sold out in a week. And until next time, happy investing. We'll talk to you soon.